from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
I'm Phil Matera.
And I'm Melissa Caen. And we are following some breaking news this morning. San Francisco police tell us they're investigating a shooting at a hotel. It happened just a few hours ago at the Four Seasons Hotel on Market near 4th Street. We're told the suspect was on the 14th floor. Police had to negotiate with him. He has been taken into custody, but there are no injuries to report at the time.
And if you were outside and around the Bay Area yesterday, many people experienced wind gusts. Tree after tree toppled down from Antioch to the unincorporated area of San Mateo County. And in Berkeley, a tree also decided to rest itself on a couple of cars. In some of these instances, the trees came awfully close to taking lives.
Our car was parked right behind this car and just basically covered our entire car. So my husband could barely back out. We had to lift the tree as much as we could to get him out. I just feel relieved that I was not standing there 2 seconds earlier. Would have been me.
Now, although the winds have died down, those who have been affected by yesterday's windstorm are being extra careful today. They're looking up for any other trees or branches that may fall to the ground.
And the strong winds are not only causing damage, they're also putting CAL FIRE crews to the test. CAL FIRE normally staffs 15 trucks during its peak season and only 4 through the winter. But now they've ramped back up to 15 units. At one point, 11 of them were in Southern California battling the Thomas fire there. 3 have since returned to the Bay Area.
All of our fire stations are open and staffed right now, something you never see in the middle of December in the Bay Area. This is my 28th fire season, and I can't remember a December like this.
Now, this is a look at the wind fueling that Thomas fire. It's now 40% contained, but at 267,000 acres, it's now the 3rd largest California wildfire in the state's history. More than 1,000 structures have been destroyed, and thousands of additional residents have been ordered to evacuate.
A memorial has been set for Mayor Ed Lee today at City Hall. And speakers will include acting Mayor London Breed, along with 3 former San Francisco mayors, Willie Brown, Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, and Senator Dianne Feinstein. Lee's daughters will also speak. The celebration of life will start at 3 p.m. at City Hall, and we'll be streaming it live on CBSSF.com and on our KPIX Facebook page.
And a petition is circulating to rename a San Francisco landmark in honor of Ed Lee. The Embarcadero Plaza sits across from the Ferry Building. Kevin Birmingham of San Francisco launched the online petition to rename it Ed Lee Plaza. Back in September, Supervisor Aaron Peskin called for the Rec and Parks Commission to strip that public plaza of its name until a permanent name change is agreed upon. Now, as of this morning, that petition has over 1,500 signatures.
Now, meanwhile, in Washington, it's not the same story.
It's a bit of a different story there for sure. And it looks like President Trump is going to get his Christmas wish, a tax cut bill. Republican leaders rolled out the final version of their plan on Friday. The final plan retains 7 personal tax brackets, although the rates would drop for almost everyone. A family making $75,000 a year would see its marginal rate go from 15% to 12%.
I think that we are going to be in a position to pass something as early as next week, which will be monumental.
Republican leaders made an 11th hour change to secure the support of these 2 GOP senators, Marco Rubio and Mike Lee. They boosted the refundable portion of a new supersized child tax credit to $1,400. And that means low-income parents will pocket that cash even if they don't owe taxes.
People making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 are going to be able to keep more of their money.
Now, the bill slashes the corporate tax rate permanently from 35% to 21%, and most of the personal tax cuts would expire in 2025. Representative Nancy Pelosi said in a statement, the GOP tax scams, theft from the middle class families to give to the wealthiest, is a moral obscenity. If the bill passes, it will secure 2 other GOP priorities as well, repealing Obamacare's individual insurance mandate and opening part of Alaska's wildlife refuge to oil drilling. The House is expected to vote on Tuesday, followed by the Senate.
That's an interesting add-on. It opens the Alaska for oil drilling.
Well, you know, whatever it takes to get it passed, right? And we do have a few days between now and then. I know a lot of lobbying for folks, senators like Susan Collins has people literally camped out in her office trying to change her mind between now and the vote.
Whatever it takes to get it done.
That's right. The debris removal from the wine country wildfires is on hold today after a worker was killed. The Army Corps of Engineers tells KPIX5 that a subcontract employee died in an apparent accident at the central landfill in Petaluma on Friday afternoon. No word on the worker's identity or exactly what happened. The incident is under investigation. Still, the Army Corps of Engineers ordered debris removal workers to stand down yesterday to give contractors time to review safety procedures and training with them. In a statement, the agency said, "Our deepest condolences and sympathy to the family of the victim. Our top priority is always safety, and above all, we want every team member working on this program to return home to their families when the job is done." Republic Services, which runs the landfill, also issued a statement saying, "We're saddened by the news of this tragic incident and are fully cooperating with local authorities."
2 men charged in the Oakland's deadly ghost ship warehouse fire. They're going to stand trial. Tenants Derek Almena and Max Harris are facing 36 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 1 count each for every person killed in that tragic fire. Almena ran that warehouse, which officials say had been illegally converted from living space for artists.
They were running the place, that they built the place, that there was so much in there that was a tinderbox.
Almena and Harris defense attorneys blame the owner of the property and the city of Oakland for the fire. A fire official testified that the fire was likely electrical.
And the Federal Communications Commission voted to roll back Obama-era regulations on the companies that provide internet service. The commission scrapped what's called net neutrality, which required providers to give websites equal access and internet speed. Now, internet service providers like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T stand to gain the most by being able to charge more and potentially offer less. Those hurt could be smaller internet companies and startups and consumers, especially those who live in rural areas with fewer internet service providers. Now, eliminating net neutrality was strongly opposed here in Silicon Valley. We asked CBS News political director John Dickerson if Congress is likely to take up this issue and reinstate net neutrality.
I don't believe so, because they supported the idea of getting rid of net neutrality. So there may be, we'll have to see sort of how this shakes out. The tax bill has eaten up a lot of the oxygen here, but I think just in general, in terms of who supported this move, it tends to be conservatives, and since the Republicans control the House and the Senate for the moment, it doesn't look like there would be legislation returning this.
We know that several states are threatening to sue already over this.
Set up their own?
California might regulate on its own.
Aside from whether you get your movies faster or something like that, what does this mean to us?
Well, it potentially could mean higher bills. It could mean that you you're discouraged from getting.
Higher bills is enough for me. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
All right, we can stop there.
Speaking of higher bills, some PG&E customers in the South Bay may soon see their bills go up. There's a new regulatory plan that will require utilities to replace 3 power plants, including the Metcalf Energy Center in San Jose. Now, all 3 plants currently operate on fossil fuels, but state regulators are expected to review the plan next month.
And a new Golden Gate Bridge toll collecting system will be in place by the year 2020. At least that's the plan. A new structure will be built south of the existing toll plaza. The current system has become outdated since human toll takers were eliminated and more drivers use that fast-track transponder system. The entire project will cost about $7 million.
It's not every day you see this happening, but take a look. A man actually turned in a bazooka yesterday at the gun buyback event in San Francisco police were helping with. There's no questions asked policy, so whoever brought it in was not in any trouble. The bazooka was one of about 300 firearms that were swapped for cash. Now, organizers shelled out more than $50,000 for all the guns.